foggy look from Tiverton. Good morning to Rhonda, who says it is all foggy, y'all, with quite a spooky fog. Christina, you are going to love our loyal viewers like Rhonda. She sends in beautiful pics of whatever she's seeing out there regularly, and we appreciate it so much, which means she is earning quite the buck on that Now Local News app. If you don't have it already, you can download it using that QR code on your screen. Are we going to see this fog in lots of places over our area, Christina?
Absolutely. This morning is going to be foggy, and it's going to be really patchy in spots. So if it's not foggy where you are, if you're hopping on the road, don't be shocked if it's a lot foggier, maybe a mile or two down the road. Now, before I dig into what's happening at home, I do want to take a look back toward the Gulf and back toward the Lone Star State, where Hurricane Beryl has made landfall as a Category 1 hurricane right around the town of Matagorda. This thing is moving ashore, which is good news in terms of the storm weakening. Remember, hurricanes like warmth, they like humidity, they don't like land. So it's going to fall apart a little bit, but it's still going to bring a lot of rain, some gusty winds, and even some severe weather as the storm continues on to the north and east through the northern Tennessee Valley and into the Ohio Valley as well. Now, do we deal with this moisture closer to home? Not necessarily in the way that we will in the Ohio Valley, for example. That said, we're going to see a little of that moisture come into play later this week. But let's start with the here and now. How's that sound? Satellite and radar nice and clear. Overall, not a bad start to the morning in terms of cloud cover, but there's a little trick to that statement considering all the fog that we've got. Fog is actually just a low-lying cloud at the surface of the earth rather than up in the atmosphere. Now, a lot of that moisture being propelled along our stationary front. This is just a front that doesn't want to go anywhere, and it's going to continue to drive the moisture and drive the heat. So keep that in mind. As you're getting out the door this morning, we do have a dense fog advisory you can see for cities like Rehoboth, like Brockton, Taunton, all the way back down toward Providence. And as you're heading into cities like East Greenwich and even out toward Newport as you're getting to the coast, just keep that in mind. Now, the dew point temperatures, that measure of moisture in the air, while it stays pretty darn steady, you can see these dew points in the 70s and upper 60s, and that means there is a heck of a lot of moisture being propelled along that front, and you're going to feel it later today, especially when paired with the temperatures. Now, temperatures at the moment are in the 60s and 70s, but these babies are going to climb all the way into the upper 80s and low 90s, especially as we look further inland. Cities like Norwood, for example, even Taunton and Boston in the 90s today, Providence 90 degrees, Smithfield 89, and even as you're heading down toward Newport, not as brutal along the water. We're looking more toward 82, but you're going to feel the stickiness in the air. Now, heat advisories in place from noon today until 8 p.m. tomorrow. This basically means the heat is more than what we're normally dealing with this time of year, and it could be detrimental to your health if you spend too long outside and don't drink enough water. Also, light, loose clothing, not a bad idea. Do as I say, not as I do. I'm inside in the air conditioning, so I'm doing all right now. Now, I do want to mention the heat and humidity come together tomorrow to create some thunderstorms, some of which could be strong, even severe. Little pockets of severe thunderstorms possible. Not a widespread threat, but something that we don't want to ignore nonetheless, right? Looking at flooding as a low-lying possibility, hail and gusty winds, also a possibility. Tornadoes, now the atmospheric ingredients really aren't there. That's not something I'm necessarily concerned with. What I do want to show you as we move along, though, this is actually one of my favorite maps in the world of weather. It's called precipitable water. Basically what it is if you take a column of the atmosphere, you wring it out like a washcloth, how much moisture is there? Well, the red means there's a lot of moisture, and that's going to be the gist of the forecast as we move through the next 7 days. And unfortunately, for those of you who don't like the humidity, it means that not only are we going to deal with more humidity, but we will deal with some more showers and even a pop-up thunderstorm or two on Wednesday, a couple of showers as we head through Thursday, Friday, and even Saturday as well.